welcome to the channel. Welcome to a glorious Sunday morning. It's beautiful, the skies are blue, the sun is shining, there's no wind, and it's the 9th of September. So the leaves are well and truly on the turn now. The rowan trees, as I think you can see, are fully loaded with their berries. And we're back at the site where we took the trees down, and this is the site where the new cabin's going to be moved. So if you haven't seen those videos of clearing the way out for the cabin and the way in for the cabin, then I'll put a link to it somewhere. We've got to lay a ground sheet, and Per Anders has just been here and lifted these big bits of stone out of the way. It's funny because I come with some straps because I didn't know he was coming today. And tomorrow he's going to lay the gravel on the side, on the top of the sheet, the ground sheet, and then we can put the concrete pillars in ready for the house to sit on. So we're gonna lay the sheet out. I'm not quite sure what I've got, to be honest. It's one of those jobs. I'm gonna open it up and lay the sheet out, just put some small rocks on it to hold it down. He can come tomorrow and put the gravel, and then we can come back and put the concrete or the beton pillars in place. And Casper thinks he's arrived in heaven. Now he does love it here. The freedom, and there's obviously no traffic on the road because there is no road. The new road's over there. Just stunning. Absolutely beautiful day. Can't even begin to tell you how beautiful a day it is, having had the worst summer I can remember. Look at that for a view. Just beautiful. And the trees, they'll soon be gone. All their leaves will be gone. Yeah, look at this. So we can show you some of the old build whilst we're here. This is a very old house, one of the originals, and how they used to hand hewn. Are these hand hewn? Yep. It's not as old as some I've seen. I don't know if that, I can't see, oh yeah I can. Yeah, they are hand hewn. Which is flattened with a large broad axe. And quite often some of these buildings, they've been moved and made out of other buildings, but I can see this is an original build. Beautiful. Definitely needs a bit more treatment on it. Okay then. So, let's lay this ground sheet out. Some of you will know this. I've not seen these really anywhere else here. This is ponderosa pine. Very odd to have this here. Very odd. There you go. That there could turn into that there. This one. There's another one there. Very unusual. Okay. Yeah, these bits of stone. So these were in the way. And yeah, I couldn't move them. So my best guess was I brought some straps and we were just gonna pull them out of the way, but thankfully Per has, look at these steps. Do you know, I never even noticed that before. You can see the rust. This is iron ore in our stones. Yeah. Nice. Okay. There's our Bernie pile there. That's where we piled up everything we took down from here to get this cabin in. Where have you been? Where have you been? Even exploring? Have you? Alrighty, that's that job done. We can leave that now, and tomorrow they'll get covered in gravel. Some of you will have noticed my ridiculously oversized hat. The sun is very bad for my head. The sun is even worse for my ears and the sides of my face. Not only is it a good sun hat, it's a really good rain hat because it stops it running down the back of your neck. Anyway, there we go. What are you doing? All right, okay. Must be the fresh air. Now we're back in this, back down at this cabin. This is one where we took down the trees. And I've just come to measure up accurately to put in the concrete posts on the new site where this is being moved to. Now, me personally, I think it's... Anyway, it doesn't matter what I think. I've been told what's required, so that's the way we'll go. Okay, so I've just basically got to put in concrete plinths on the new site in exactly the same place that these ones are here. So I've got to measure the building and then measure exactly where these concrete posts, beton plinth are, and put them in the same place. Now I have been told, that door's been opened since we've been here, I have been told that this building is out of square. Well, there's no need for it to be out of square, so I'm going to put the new base in square and then put the building square on it. So I'm just going to do a quick measure up of the outside of the building and where these concrete things need to be, and then we've been to town. The customer's ordered up the concrete plinths, which I have. Right, let's measure this up then. And beautiful morning, cold, really cold. It was about freezing last night. Trees of this beautiful colour, golden, yellowish, golden. You know, you get the colours here, you do get the colours here, there's no doubt about it. But it's not like the broadleaf trees. You know, obviously Maine, most of Canada, Alaska, not so much Alaska because there's not so many broadleaves, but we don't have any broadleaf here, so you don't get the colours, the reds and the yellow, the oranges. But anyway, right, let's get this measured up so we know what we're doing and we can go and set up this new base. Okay, we think right, well, I haven't got too many words. Yep. Okay. Right. Okay. So we did say that the guy that was putting the gravel down, he did ask me, and I said 30 centimetres and on the cloth. Okay, right. Yeah. Well, that's not level, and I haven't got anything with me to. Yeah. Okay, that's quite deep, and there's quite a lot of it, and it's not level. Right, got my work cut out then, because I'm gonna have to look around for some tools, because I can't, that's not gonna, yeah. I mean, there's no way the damp's gonna get to it, that's for sure, but okay. I'd better look to see if I can find, I mean, that's not what I was expecting, if I'm honest. That's not quite what I was expecting. Anyway, we can sort that out, so I guess we're gonna have to do that first and then see where we are. Ah, that was a big tree. I wonder who cut that down. Okay, so we got the 3 back ones in place. Right, these are 100% straight and 100% level. The outside of the log, the corner, is the outside of the block. Outside of the log there, outside of the corner is there, and then there. So, I already know this cabin's out square, and I actually run a laser measure on the inside of the first small room to find out how much it's out of square. Is it out of square because that central wall wasn't put in right when it was built originally? Possibly. Could I take an out of square over the whole building? Well, no, I couldn't, because the corner was missing. Anyway, all of that's irrelevant. If it's out of square, it was put there out of square because the concretes were put out of square because they weren't put in square. And it's a log building the same as this. And it's got no roof on it. And you can twist it. You can twist the building to suit yourself. So, I'm putting the concrete... Sorry about the sun. Forgot about that. I'm putting these concrete pads in square because I want the building square. And the reason you want the building square... Let's start with the foundations. Let's call these foundations. If the foundations are square, the building will be square. The roof will be square. We all know what happens when you put a roof up when the building's out of square, because we did one on the porch where the whole roof runs out and all the tin is out and everything is out. Is there any houses anywhere near me that I've come across that I've worked in and around that square? One. And I'll tell you a story about that. The man that built this house was a concrete contractor. He also built the bridge over the river that we go under, the double arch bridge, which is concrete and cast in situ. And this man lived on this site. He had the nous about him to use the men and the materials that came off the shuttering that they cast in situ to shutter his house up to eaves level. And then they poured concrete. It's a concrete house up to eaves level. It's the only one in the village. And that's perfectly square. And the roof is square. Anyway, so what I've done is I've got the back 3 in place, and I've got my string along, and I've marked 4 metres this way, right? It can be 4 feet, and I've marked 3 metres this way, and then that has to be 5 metres. That's how you get a square. 3, 4, 5. We are going to double square it, so what we're going to do is put this one in roughly, and then we're going to put that one in roughly, and I mean roughly within, you know, this far apart, and then we can square this and then that, so that we have this first block here that contains the outside wall, the front wall, the back wall, and an inside wall. We're going to have that square, and that means we'll be square over here. Although there's no corner here, we kind of stop here and then it goes across and then up there like this. So I'm using a rough 3, 4, 5 to get my first slab in, and then I'll put the block on the slab level. We've got some leveling to do here, and then we'll put this one in off of 3, 4, 5, and then we can go accurately centre to centre and square this up properly, and then we can put the final 2 in. I think there's 2 more. Anyway, we're going to get these 4 here, this end square. ready now to receive the cabin. I should have explained what I was doing with the posts and the marks. So basically the beton plinth, the concrete plinth, is 300mm high. And so I marked down from each bit of wood 300mm. Right, that line represented top of slab. So then when I punched in the posts, I knew how much ground I had to make up or take away for the slab, and then you rub the slab in and get the slab solid to the mark, and then when you put the plinth on top, give or take a millimetre or two, not a centimetre or two, it's the right height. Anyway, so that's it. That's all in where it should be, ready to receive the cabin. Now, these ones are designed to have a screw-in metal, anyway it hasn't, so I'm going to have to make something up with a hole to go over the top for the cabin to sit on. Some bits of wood with a hole in, with a bit of DPM plastic rubber top and bottom. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that level all round, all in the right place. So the outside of the blocks is the outside of the cabin, so the blocks will sit inbound of the cabin, but right underneath the log, as it were. Yeah, shoveling. Wow. Has that ever... Shoveling's one of the things I can't do. It murders me. I don't know what it is, but I can't. It must be the angle of the back, you know, where the disc is rolled. This is the next one up. You know, they've removed one. The next one up is rolled as well. Anyway, shoveling. And they're square, of course, square to each other. The ground is not doing the blocks any justification, to be honest. Anyway, they're in the right place and they're at the right height, and that's the important thing. And we can go and do something else now. Well, I think we're back to this van saga. Anyway, right. Hopefully, my dog is where he should be. Hello? Are you driving us home? So these are to go on top of the concrete plinths. And the nut will sit in the hole. Is my bench in a mess? Well, yeah. This moving of the cabin was sprung on me this morning. And as always, I'm in the middle of many other jobs. So I've just replaced all the lights on the snowplow with LEDs and took all the candles off. Okay, so now I want to put a bit of DPM on these. To go on top of the concrete. One for each side of all of the blocks, and they're not wedges or anything else. I'm not expecting to have to wedge up anywhere. I'm expecting the top of all my stuff to be... Anyway, things move and whatnot, but these are just to go on top of the concrete plinth. The nut goes in there. Pretty sure that's a big enough hole. And then the cabin sits on there. And it gives it a flat surface. But also, once it's on there, this can't slip on the block. So then you could screw that to the cabin, and that would stop any slipping. Probably. Now I know the owner of this cabin wanted to use birch bark in between the concrete and the cabin, and they used birch bark because that's what they had. If they'd got this, they'd have used this. Anyway, if they want to jack it up and take these out and put birch bark in afterwards, fairy huffs, but I'm putting these in. Okay. That's my pads done. I'm going to load up some extra timbers, saws, chisels, a couple of lump hammers, sledgehammers, screws, just in case I need to brace, and that's it. I'm waiting on a phone call to say what time we're meeting at the cabin site tomorrow morning, and we're going to lift it, move it and resite it. Right, well that's all I've got for you today, so I'll see you in the morning. So we're on our way back to the site where the cabin is going to go to install those wooden spacers and DPMs, because whatever time it is now, we should be on this very stretch of road moving the cabin today. However, that got cancelled, so that's happening tomorrow, and there is a problem with that. Is tomorrow morning, first thing, I have to be in town, which is where I've been this morning, to roadworks. Not this time of year, really. Wonder why. Wonder what could be possibly happening there at this time of year. Okay. Well, that's fascinating. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so this road has opened up. It's got a huge crack in it. So this road, it moves every year. Every year it moves, and it's all like marsh and nasty stuff here, and some big hole has opened up. But now every year it actually splits down the middle, almost down the white line, and the two sides start to fall away. But something more catastrophic happened, and there's a huge crater in the road, so that'll be what they're repairing. Anyway, so where was I? So we're supposed to be on this very road, moving this cabin, probably just as well. We're not doing it today, but the man is doing it. He cancelled, and we're doing it tomorrow, but I've got to be in town again early tomorrow morning to take the van, for its inspection again. Anyway, all the work's done now, and I'm pretty sure we're going to go right through, and all our advisories will be taken off as well. Anyway, so we're just going to go up and put these things on the concrete plinths. Right, must be bad. Looks like they're doing a lot of work. Yeah, this is the same section that always goes. Well, it's surprising that they're doing it this late in the year, really. We're already having our first hard frosts, and I think the current temperature is about 4 degrees, 4.2 degrees. Tell you how remote this is, right? And how interesting. Oh, they put gauze in the road. Look at that. There's actually wire gauze on the road. Well, I've never seen that before. They're trying to stop it from breaking up. Anyway, we're so remote, I'm just randomly got to go to this site. I've got one neighbour in front of me, and I've got another neighbour behind me from the same village. Anyway, yeah, wire gauze. That must be to try and stop this whole thing from breaking up. I know I've got lots of stuff on my windscreen reflecting, but yeah, that's wire gauze all the way down there. So anyway, I don't know how long this is going to go on for, so we'll reconvene when we get to site. Okay. Let's put them down there. Take a few. Okay, so they're all in place now, and as I described, once they're on, you can't move them. Well, you can turn them round, but they won't slide off. All right, so the next time we should be back here, there should be a cabin on a truck here. We should be lifting it into place. That'll be tomorrow. So unfortunately, that didn't happen. The man arrived to site here, and he said, yeah, he said he couldn't do it. So he said there was too many trees on this side, and the stumps on this side were too high, and he couldn't get out past that tree, and the crane couldn't get in. So that was it. He said no. Right, okay, so I gave a quote to move this cabin way back in the summer when it was a nice little job, you know, take the logs off, stack them down, transport them up there, rebuild it. But I didn't really want to do it, but I would have done it, and I can do it because I started in log cabins, so I'm probably one of the best people to do it. But there's been so much prevaricating and waiting and, you know, all this. It's been months later, and yesterday we had first snow, and I don't know if you can see, there's snow on the hills in the background, and it's cold. It's really cold. I'm not quite sure the exact temperature where I'm stood, -1, -2 Celsius. I don't find the need to work in this temperature unless I need to work in this temperature. So then, of course, when he said no, then everything falls on me, because I'm sure I've explained somewhere in this video this cabin has to be off of this land by the 1st of December. There's no choice in it. So, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that's concluded this video. But that probably means, no, that definitely means there's going to be another video of me taking apart this cabin and moving the cabin and putting the cabin back together in the winter. Great. Marvellous. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.